standing here in front of our national heroes, and the thought just occurred that Jamaica is probably one of the only countries with national heroes. Maybe the only one. Who knows? I need to research that. But it's painful to know that their struggles and the fight that they fought is possibly going to die because of HIV/AIDS. Children are being infected and affected, and we need to make a stance, like our heroes did back then. We need to stand up and say no to the pedophiles. We need to eradicate the pedophiles.
HIV is the human immunodeficiency virus. It is a small microorganism that lives inside of cells, and it destroys the immune system, which is what is responsible for fighting off infections and cancers and other issues in the human body. And AIDS, the acquired immune deficiency syndrome, is development along the HIV process where when the HIV virus destroys the immune system to the point where the level of these cells are, the level of the CD4 cells are at a lower point than a standard that is given, that patient has AIDS. The AIDS patients are far sicker, but it is very easy for someone to have HIV and not know.
Life is a non-government organization which takes care of women and children who are affected or infected by HIV. The clients that we serve are children from birth up to age 17. Persons who are infected by HIV go through a lot of emotional stress, emotional strain. And my role as counseling psychologist is to help them to understand their status, their issue, and to help them also to disclose to their partners. The children that I work with, they go through a lot of emotional strain and stress based on the fact that they themselves are infected by HIV or their parents are infected by HIV. Those who are infected by HIV struggle with the fact that they did not take this infection onto themselves. They were born with it.
It is thought that worldwide there are perhaps about 35 million people infected with the HIV virus. To give you an idea of how many of them have AIDS, it's rather a smaller figure. Maybe 50% will get for sure, but I can't give you a figure of exactly how many. I don't have that figure at my fingertips, but it is a significant number of them. And since the antiretrovirals, which are the drugs that are used to treat HIV virus, have come on stream, what has happened is that the AIDS patients are living longer, and so it has changed the statistical balance.
Men, no go there. Having sex with a virgin does not cure HIV. Having sex with teenagers does not make you a man. You are not a man.
Good evening, Mr. Jace. Can you please have a seat, sir? Yes, sir. Unfortunately, Mr. Jace, the test we did, the results weren't good. Your HIV test is positive. This means that you are infected with HIV virus. Unfortunately, it came back positive. Also the confirmatory test. So we will have to refer you on for further treatment. Okay. Are there any questions, sir?
The myth of having sex with a virgin is something that's big in Jamaica, and that should really be just put aside. That is not even worth thinking about.
Yes, Jovi? What do you want, Jovi? What kind of homework you get? Why, Jovi, my head get holy and now. I forgot to send you going to Tom. Go on to Tom and tell him to help you with your homework. What is this? No, God. Jesus Christ. Jovi, come here. Oh, your breathe stay like this. Jovi, I'm talking to you. Oh, your breathe stay like this. Jovi, I asked you the last time. Oh, your breathe stay like this.
Tom touch my mommy.
No, Tom can't touch you. Oh, Tom for touch him as a man of God.
Tom,
Eh? Tom not gonna do that. Because Tom is a man of God. So, oh, Tom touch you.
I realized that some of these young ladies have been involved in sexual activity from an early age of 10, 12 age, 14 years. And some of these young ladies are sent out by their parents to hustle on the road, to bring in food for the little ones.
Super nice, may I talk to your sister? Yeah? So going. Shirley, Big John did, you know. Say no, say you have to go out there and you're 13, 14, I go 14, so you're a big woman and any man would want you because you look good and bigger man than Big John will have money, you see? Look on the car there. You know, so the car look good and a big man in there, you know, Shirley. You understand what I say? Me usually do it and a lot of girls do it. Me, you still get something, man. You go want to drive one day too, you know, though. And you go want in the next house and them something there. So what you think we have to do? You have to do that. I remember me can't work and I have to go take care of your sister. You understand? Yeah, and you look good. Look on you, you're sexy. Any man I go want you. And you're pretty and nice.
As a nation, it takes a collective effort to help our children. Beginning from the home, parenting. And as the child moves out into school, the responsibility is on the teachers to help to mold this child. Because you have this child at school, you also need to help this child to be a better person. And the teachers have a responsibility in molding the behavior, the knowledge base, and for the child to grow. We move to the church, pastors, church members, church leaders. Sometimes we feel that talking about sex in church is wrong because we feel that if we speak about sex at the church level, we're encouraging persons to go out and have sex before marriage. But it is not about involving sex before marriage in the church. The church leaders, pastors, we are not saying that when you talk about sex with the teenagers in your parish, in your church, you're encouraging for them to be involved in sex early and premarital sex. But giving them the knowledge base also, along with in the having sex before marriage talk, talking to them about sex, what can happen to them if they're involved in early sexual activity. Counselors, guidance counselors, psychologists, nurses at the various health center. the common person on the road. It takes a collective effort. Business organizations, government, non-government, ministry, government agencies, we all have a part to play in protecting our children against HIV/AIDS, other sexual transmitted infection, and early pregnancy. If we work together, we will fight this. But if we don't work together, we are losing the fight, we are losing our teenagers, and we are losing the nation.
It's estimated that there are somewhere between 20,000 and 30,000 Jamaicans living with HIV. The number who have actually been labeled as having AIDS, that's a different number, but suffice it to say that a lot of people don't know because they've never done the tests. And the tests that are done are tests based on the immune system, where what is known as the CD4 count. CD4 are types of cells that are produced in these infections, and when the CD4 count drops below a certain number, 200, I forget the units, but when it drops below 200, then that is a diagnosis of AIDS, and treatment is required at that point. But if the count is above 500, that patient is considered to be HIV positive but do not have AIDS.
Parents, it is your responsibility to have that sex talk with your child. It is your responsibility to love your children.
I try as much to shelter you guys, but I can't hold on to you forever. As you grow up, as you get into school, you're going to meet all these different kids. And they're going to know a lot more than you, and they're going to, whether they know it or not, the point is that the image that they're going to portray to you is that they're bigger than everybody else, right? My only fear is that I never taught you guys before you go out there and then you want to go fast and be curious because they think it's right or they tell you that it is right. The HIV is not something to joke about. Because it's not, I mean, it can be cured, I guess, but I don't have that money. I don't have the money that comes involved, and then you're going to be sick, and then if anybody hears about it, you know, automatically they're going to pinpoint you and they're not going to want to be around you.
Reduction Hub.